there, beloved. It's Dr. Amanda Noelle, and over there blowing raspberries in the corner is our 5-month-old daughter, Elisa Rose. And you're here because you're wondering, how do I know if I have found my twin flame? Well, here are 5 signs to tell, so stay tuned. The first way to tell if you have found your twin flame is that they and you do not run when this shit hits the fan. Everyone loves a good poop story, so I'm gonna dive right in. So my beloved and I, we had such an amazing romantic first couple of weeks. We went to Bootcamp together, then he came down and stayed with me in San Diego at my new little cottage before I found my place where I wanted to live. And so we were living like right on top of each other in this tiny little studio cottage. And one morning I woke up and it turns out that he didn't get the memo that the whole plumbing system would be shut down on our block. Beloved takes a big poop in the toilet and everyone poops, right? So I open the door in the morning and I'm like getting ready to go to the bathroom, and then I'm reminded that the plumbing doesn't work when I open the toilet. And yeah, so I'm like meeting, you know, this new beloved, and we have this romance, and there's like poop in the toilet. What do? I just embrace it. It's just like, life is a metaphor. This is a metaphor for life. Our shit stinks, and sometimes it's gonna happen. And so many people, you know, we want it to not, and we wanna be perfect. We don't want our person to think that we're lesser than, we're not enough. And so I embraced it. And then as the day went by in our studio apartment, you know, we went out to the cafes and I took some bathroom breaks, but I couldn't go. And so I too joined the club where I had to poop, and I had to poop really bad. And it was late at night, and we were hoping the plumbing would turn on any moment. And I was waiting and waiting. And I get to the point where I'm like, Jack, I have to go poop so bad. And so nowhere was there a bathroom, a public bathroom. We walked to the beach, and there was a public toilet that had been locked up. And so I'm like, I'm out of options. I'm taking a dump in the ocean. And so I go out and wade in the ocean like this much, because I'm like, I don't want to like defecate on the beach. And like, this is so embarrassing. I had like all this shame. I'd never pooped in front of anybody in my life. This was literally like one of my worst fears, is that I would be like lesser than in front of a man, like naked, and here I'm like half naked, pants down. Jack is being a gentleman, he's not looking or anything, but like I felt so exposed. And so through the law of attraction, I actually manifest like 2 drones and a helicopter on a totally dark and quiet beach, because I'm so nervous and I'm like, I have to poop so bad. And I'm so ashamed that like they just come by right at the second with like headlights on. They're looking for me. They're like, lady taking a poop on the beach. No, I don't know why they were there, but I'm sure it was my shame that manifested it. And so the moral of the story is I embraced my shame. We had a great laugh about it. I got home, and the moment that we rounded the corner next to our house, I heard a noise, and I looked over, and it was a plumber that was like hooking up the plumbing, and I went home and took the best dump of my life. So I highly recommend to just love and embrace your love stories, beautiful ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the poopy. So the second way to know is if you have love longevity. Love longevity means that you have been in the relationship for a while. Most people are like, I just want to know right now, so they do all these Google searches. Well, actually, a twin flame union, we really can't tell if it's going to last until it lasts long enough. And we never really know. Life is full of surprises. But, you know, once you've put some time in and you see that things are going well, you've worked through a lot of hassles and headaches, you've put it to the test, you know that this stands a good chance. And I always think of the metaphor of, I don't know if you remember the old Volvo commercial. Volvo had this commercial, you know, the car, where there were these dummies, and they would drive the car into a wall, and the dummies would crash. They're crash test dummies, and they would basically show that the crash test dummies were still surviving after, you know, because their car was so safe. So you want your twin flame union to be like a Volvo versus some little rinky-dink car that just breaks. So after all of the turmoil, we are going to hit some bumps, and we may even crash into a wall with our twin flame, because this is the highest level vibration of a soulmate relationship. And soulmate relationships are the best kind of relationship, because a soulmate relationship is simply defined as a relationship through which we learn and grow. It could be business, it could be romantic, your mother, but the twin flame union, it's the highest vibrational soulmate relationship. It's going to take a little bit of mastery to get here. So all of us, we have some crashes and drama and arguments and triggers and wounds. So can we survive that? Can we be the crash test dummies that come out? The car might be a complete wreck, but we are alive and breathing. The third way to know is that they are a team player, and so are you. You are team players together. You have your team trinity. It's me, Jack, and Jananda are a union. You, them, and the twin flame union. You create this amazing power couple team where whatever comes up in your life, y'all deal with it. And it starts with self-responsibility, not codependence. If you deal with my stuff, I'll deal with your stuff, and somehow, like in that codependent soup, we'll figure stuff out. No, twin flames, they show up from their power, they do their inner work, and sometimes we do need to ask for help and say, hey, I need support. You have this mastery over this, or I'd love your outside opinion. Twin flames show up for whatever drama arises during the journey. If there's a loved one that dies, both people show up and that person feels held as they go through the grieving process. But they have to go through the grieving process ultimately on their own. So sometimes we team players, we're gonna be cheerleaders, we're going to be positive coaches for our partners, and sometimes we just give our partner a hug, and vice versa. They play these roles. We're ultimately working as a team together. The fourth way to tell, oh my goodness, is that you have come closer after hitting these little speed bumps or even these crashes. Is not only do you survive, but you work through these things and you become stronger and stronger. Your communication skills get enhanced. Your ability to love goes deeper. You heal, and it starts to heal other things, other aspects of your life, and you become overall a closer couple and a better person from it, so that you can continue to become more and more intimate. The walls go down. You're no longer driving into those walls as crash test dummies, but there's a space that opens up through the closeness. An example of this in my life is recently my partner and I went through a challenge, and we're still actually unpacking this one. We have Elisa, our little daughter, like I said, and every woman knows this, that when she gives birth to a baby, it's a life-changing experience. It's amazing, it's beautiful, and we can often lose our sexual mojo due to hormonal shifts, due to having a strong bond with the baby. Even I had an orgasmic birth, and I thought I'd just be having orgasms every 5 minutes after my birth. No, my body parts were ripped open and there's scar tissue, and I had an amazing breech orgasmic birth, but I did have some tearing because she came out so fast. Most people think that they're gonna get their sex life back after maybe 3 months, a couple of weeks even for some people. And so we have these ideas in our head. So I was going, what's going on with my sex life? I'm not feeling my mojo. I'm not feeling like all juicy and wet when I see Jack. Oh my God, maybe it's like we're not twin flames now that we have a baby or something. It's going crazy in my head. So I spoke with one of my mentors, who is the founder of Orgasmic Birth, and she did the amazing documentary about these women birthing orgasmically. I had an orgasmic birth due to her coaching, and I sat with Deborah and I said, things are just a little different down there. Like, I'm not feeling as good. We had this beautiful baby who's making lots of juicy raspberries, but where's my juicy raspberry? And she said to me, Amanda, in a group of 100 people, I've actually sat with them and questioned them, interviewed them. After 1 year, most people will say that they didn't get their sex life back for about 6 months or even longer. That's very, very, very typical. Even people that are practicing orgasmic practices, like her tribe. I went, oh, okay, I feel so much better. I'm in the normal range. So what did Jack and I do? I actually came to my partner and said, I am feeling really tender and raw, and my yoni is like something that I'm feeling really sensitive about. And I would like to actually have a yoni massage. And I'd like to talk to you about where I'm at first. And we sat and we dialogued and I cried, and I showed him my yoni for the first time after she'd been all healed up. It was a very vulnerable moment, but I felt so held by Jack, and I knew he'd be able to do that even though the back of my mind, I was like, what if he won't? And it was so wonderful to just melt into his loving arms. Okay, the last and final way is that both you and your beloved gain traction in your lives. You basically grow. You grow inwardly and you grow outwardly in all areas of your life. And the reason for this is because we feel so loved up. We beam light to each other. It's like we're plants. We grow to the light. And we feel like, you know, really held. I know with my partner, I feel so loved and supported that I feel like it's okay to really be myself more in social circles. Or I feel like I can take risks in things that I do, because maybe in the past I'd be like, but if nobody likes me, I'll go home to like a cold bed and I'll go home to like, you know, my lonely world. But I know that I have my rock. And so it's not a codependent rock, like I don't love myself and I just depend on him for my love, but there's this really nourishing energy that just feeds my soul. And so all of my twin flame soul family friends, they tell me that when they have their twin flame union grounded, they start launching their soul purpose exponentially. They have, you know, the work that they love doing. They're of service to humanity better. They take better care of their health. I know with my partner, I really changed my diet. I gave up gluten after years of like having it and trying not to have it. I was able to start doing juice cleanses, and I'm almost 98% plant-based. I eat all organic food now. I drink, you know, high quality spring water, and just overall, because I feel so fed, so happy, so full, I was able to clear up an area of my life where I'd struggled in the past, where it was hard to eat the healthy, high vibing foods. And with this video, I'd also like to gift you the 22 twin flame signs checklist, because you're asking, is this my twin flame? Do I have the qualities? How do I know? You're wondering and curious, and I know I was there, and it's really confusing, and a lot of people spend a ton of time on the wrong partners or in that gray zone, and they waste this time that they could be spending with an incredible partner who is indeed their twin flame. So I'm gonna put the link in the description box that will have you sent the download right away. It has a list of the 22 twin flame signs that you'll want to have in order to sustain a healthy twin flame partnership, and will help you to see if this person may indeed be a match. And if you haven't met somebody that you think is your twin flame, it's a great target for that. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and I will see you in the next video. Namaste.